Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. Today, we are going to be looking at the death of Jamaican TikToker Xavier Foga, better known online as Niah.
Yeah, this is a case that really kind of gets you thinking about, that line between what happens online and then what happens in real life.
Right, and specifically what we're looking at today is an article from Yard Hype, which is a Jamaican news and entertainment website. And I think one of the important things to say right at the top is that this is still an ongoing case, so details are kind of still emerging as we speak. But what we want to focus on is what we do know from the article, and specifically some claims that were made by someone claiming to be Niah's cousin.
Yeah, and it's interesting how this information is coming to light. It's through TikTok itself, the same platform where Niah, was known.
Right. So just to give everybody a background on who Niah is, he was a Jamaican TikToker who was killed sometime over the weekend prior to December 9th, 2024.
And that's where these claims from the alleged cousin really come into play. During a TikTok live stream, they made some pretty startling allegations that Niah was killed by somebody he knew. Not just a random person, but somebody from his local community in Old Harbor.
Yeah. And even more than that, the cousin is claiming that there had been previous arguments between Niah and these individuals. They specifically said, and I'm quoting here, "Aid the youth dem round to kill him, same people round there. Same man, dem way, yeah, and dem argue over a couple months ago. Dem touch yo, dem watch yo, and touch yo, and the youth beside, no."
And it's that phrase, dem touch yo, dem watch yo, that's really, really interesting to me. Because it suggests that, it goes beyond just arguments online. There's a level of, intimidation and aggression there.
Right, it almost makes you think that it was something that was kind of brewing for a while. Like, it wasn't just something that popped up online. It sounds like it was something that maybe even moved from the digital world into some real-life confrontations.
Exactly. And it raises a big question of, how these platforms like TikTok change the dynamics of conflict.
Right. We see arguments online all the time, but, when does that cross the line?
Yeah.
Into something serious?
Right. And going back to the alleged cousin's claims, they provided some more details about the killing, saying that Niah was shot in the head, and even hinting at how the attackers might have gained access to him.
And, all of this is coming to light on a live stream on TikTok, the same platform where Niah was known. It's just a very strange juxtaposition, somebody potentially being killed because of something that started online, and then the details coming out on that same platform.
It's almost like a digital echo of this tragedy, and it makes you think about, did TikTok have a role in this? Was it just a neutral platform, or did it somehow contribute to the conflict?
Or what responsibility did these platforms have to, try to prevent this kind of thing from happening?
Right.
When things go from the digital world to actual violence.
Yeah, those are some big questions we'll have to dig into. Now, the Yard Hype article also embeds some TikToks from other users.
Yep.
At One Diplomats and at One Mobay Trending.
Right. And those kind of add some more context to the alleged cousin's claims, and even include some footage of that live stream.
And I think the thing that really stands out is that the article links this incident to other violence involving Jamaican TikTokers.
Right. Like, they mentioned a charity match for another TikToker's daughter, and another TikToker speaking out about being a victim of a shooting.
Right. So this might be part of a larger pattern here, a trend.
Right. So it's not just this one case, but maybe there's something bigger happening within the Jamaican TikTok community.
Exactly. So is there something unique to the Jamaican TikTok scene?
Right. Or is this something that reflects some bigger societal issues that are just playing out on social media?
And how do you even begin to address something like that?
Yeah.
It's complicated.
It is. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's just look at what the article says about the alleged link between Niah and the individuals involved. One thing that they say is that they argued a couple of months ago. What do you make of that detail?
Well, to me, a couple of months suggests that this wasn't just a fleeting thing. This was something that simmered for a while, maybe even escalated, both online and offline.
Right, and it kind of makes you wonder, were there any warning signs here? Could anything have been done to stop this?
Absolutely.
Before it got to this point?
Those are some tough questions.
Yeah.
But they're ones that we need to ask.
Yeah.
As we try to understand this case and what it means for the online world.
We'll unpack those questions and more in just a bit, but first...
It's crazy, right? This whole case makes you think about all the ways. We have to think about conflict now that we've got the internet.
Right. I mean, we're always talking about the good things with social media, like connecting with people and making communities and sharing things. But this is definitely the darker side.
Right. And I mean, it's not always about physical violence. Like even just cyberbullying or harassment or doxing.
Yeah.
That can have a huge impact on people. It
Yeah.
can really mess you up.
Right. It's like, do you think the fact that people are kind of hidden behind their screens makes them say things they wouldn't say in person?
Maybe. Because like there are fewer consequences online. Like it's not really real life.
And things happen so fast online. Like
Oh, yeah.
1 minute you're disagreeing with someone and then boom, everyone's fighting.
Yeah. And then once it's out there, it's out there. Like we've seen that with all the misinformation. It's spread so fast and people believe it.
And in this case, people are already forming opinions and we don't even have all the facts yet.
Right. We really need to be careful about what we believe online.
Yeah, like we need to fact check things and consider different points of view. Maybe we all need like a crash course in internet skills.
Right. Like how to be a good online citizen.
Totally. We need to understand how information is made and shared.
And how it can be manipulated.
You're right.
And how to spot bias.
Yeah, and it's not just about the info we read, but also the stuff WE post.
Absolutely. Our words have power online and in real life.
So going back to the live stream from the alleged cousin, I was kind of surprised by how detailed it was. Like they talked about Niah being shot in the head and even hinted at how the attackers got to him.
Yeah, that makes you think about how ethical it is to share all that, especially on a platform like TikTok.
Right. And there's an investigation going on, so could that hurt the case?
Potentially.
Yeah.
Plus, all that detail could lead to rumors and speculation.
Which doesn't help anybody.
And you have to think about Niah's family and friends. Seeing all that online must be really hard.
Right. It's easy to forget that there are real people behind those profiles.
Definitely. They have lives beyond the internet.
So in the article, they link this incident to other violence involving Jamaican TikTokers, like that charity match for another TikToker's daughter, and the one who talked about being shot.
Right, it makes you think, is there something about TikTok itself, or the way it's used in Jamaica, that's causing this?
Or is it just reflecting some deeper problems in Jamaica?
It's a tough question.
It is.
And it brings us back to responsibility. Who needs to fix this?
Right? Is it the platform, the users, the government?
I mean, it's probably all of them.
Right.
But I think we have to start by just admitting there's a problem.
Right. And having these tough conversations.
Absolutely.
And remembering that what we see online isn't always the whole story.
Totally. It's like a highlight reel.
Yeah.
You don't see the hard parts.
So we gotta look deeper.
We got to understand what's really going on,
Yeah.
and then maybe we can start making things better.
Right. Make the internet a safer place for everyone.
Exactly.
You know, it's interesting how this whole deep dive into what happened with Niah has kind of made us think about online platforms in general and like what they're doing to us.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, social media can be great for connecting with people and expressing yourself, but it can also make some of our problems even worse.
Right. Like we've been talking about violence in the Jamaican TikTok community, but this isn't just a Jamaican thing or a TikTok thing.
Right. It's happening everywhere, all over the world.
So is it something about online communication itself that makes these conflicts happen?
Well, some people think that because you're not face to face
Yeah.
and you can be anonymous. People feel like they can get away with more.
Yeah, it's like there are no rules online.
And then there's the echo chamber thing, where you only see stuff from people who agree with you.
Which makes everyone more extreme.
Exactly. And then when those groups meet online, things get ugly fast.
So we need to be smarter about how we use the internet.
Totally.
Like we need to think critically and be aware of our own biases.
And remember that our actions have consequences, even online.
So what do you think this whole thing with Niah will mean for the Jamaican online community?
It's hard to say, but hopefully it'll make people think about online safety and responsibility.
Right, like maybe people will be more careful about what they say and do.
And maybe the platforms will start doing more to stop the bad stuff.
Yeah.
We need to have these conversations
Yeah.
about how to make the internet a better place.
Totally.
It's not all sunshine and rainbows.
Well said.
There's a lot of darkness too.
So that wraps up another deep dive. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll see you next time.